There is a principle in biology that almost nobody applies correctly. When a system is deprived of something that it needs, it does not simply wait, it reconfigures, because the body reads abstinence not as a punishment, by the way, but as information. And you already know this works with food, but you may not know that it actually works with sex as well. So we'll back this up with some scientific parlance. But before we get into the receptor data, there is a second mechanism running in parallel that most men have never even heard of. And it begins the moment ejaculation occurs. So prolactin spikes from baseline. And this is confirmed in human studies, by the way. Prolactin levels increase approximately twofold within 10 minutes of ejaculation, meaning they continue to rise. Elevated prolactin suppresses two signals, by the way, from the pituitary gland. It's got suppression of luteinizing hormone and also follicle stimulating hormone known as LH or FSH. So in 2003, Fernandez Gustavi, I believe, he published findings on sexually exhausted male rats. Granted, I do know this is an animal study, but we do animal studies for a reason. Science is still in its infancy in this. So this is the really interesting part. When researchers actually lesioned this part of the brain, so when they took it out, you know what happened? Male sexual and competitive behavior nosedived off a cliff. So it's not just, a peripheral region. It's the command center. And in sexually exhausted animals, androgen receptor density, there was drastically, reduced in this part. Not the testosterone. Not the testosterone. That's the key. It's independent of T levels. This is the detail that changes everything. The reduction was independent of androgen level changes. The sexually exhausted animal did not have less testosterone. What happens if this area in your brain is affected by sexual exhaustion? Doesn't matter about your T levels. You could have free circulating testosterone at 1000 nanograms per deciliter, but if the androgen receptors can't read it, there's no point in even having it. And I'm going to coin this term. The biological wingman activates. Heightened masculine characteristics are pushed in the body. When the body gets feedback or information that it is not experiencing sexual release, it is going to make changes. Your body is trying to help you, but you're letting things get in the way, like adult material, like sleeping with women who are of low quality, of even spending money on sexual experiences. The irony is, when you refrain, when you use deprivation as a signal, you give off the biggest signal of attraction. And that's not a theory. That is a cold, hard fact. Speak soon.